he was very different from what I expected based on what the rumors are in the industry.
And those rumors being?
He's a tyrant, the devil. He is evil, selfish, and greedy. I never heard he was Freaky 69 God, but my experience with him superseded those rumors.
Child, if I'm Diddy, Kalenna, you can't speak for me. Don't speak for me no more. Just keep my name out your mouth. Because homegirl just made it worse. Hey guys, welcome back to Girl Uncensored. It's your girl Cecily, the pop culture Girl, and I am back with another video. Before we get started into this treacherous interview that I had to listen through for an hour and some change at work while I work at the plant, let's get me out of the plant, shall we? Please like and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, hit the like and the subscribe button, you guys. We are growing every single day. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Join the community. And let's get started, you guys, because this was some shit. Kalenna, as you guys may know, let me get into who Kalenna is, because a lot of you may not know. Are you guys familiar with Diddy Dirty Money? So Kalenna Harper is an American singer and songwriter from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She is best known as a member of the musical group Diddy Dirty Money. That is with Diddy, herself, and Don Richard. Is Richard or Richard? Maybe Richard. Well, Don from Danny Kane. Let's be very clear. When Diddy Dirty Money first came out, I'm like, oh, okay, Estelle in the group. I did. They look alike to me. But anyway, and then she also was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, her and her husband. And you know what's so crazy? I don't remember their storyline. And I was watching Heavy back then. I do not remember what they had going on. I don't. It just was not memorable to me. And the only Diddy Dirty Money song that I know is Hello, Good Morning. And that had Nicki Minaj on it. That's probably why I remember. But anyway, so basically what's going on right now, as you all know, it's a Diddy story every single day. Literally every single day. And I did 4 videos that I never released because Diddy is so draining. So every time I got a chance or tried to get a chance to do the video and edit it, something always goes wrong. And then I'm like, it's always something. Like, Diddy is really draining. So I'm like, when the time permits itself, then that's when I will speak. So you guys will be able to see my thoughts aside from this story, what we're going to talk about today. I'll give you my thoughts on Diddy itself. You could check, I'm going to add the video to the end screen, and we can actually really get into Diddy himself, like, solely, and what's been going on with him. But today's story is about Kalenna from Diddy Dirty Money. Now, Dawn from Diddy Dirty Money and also Danny Kane, she had came out with her own lawsuit against Diddy, alleging, abuse and sexual assault. She basically accused Diddy of harassment and, sexual abuse. And, of course, Diddy responds to all the lawsuits, he's shocked and disappointed. He's shocked and disappointed all the time. He was also shocked and disappointed about Cassie's lawsuit, and then we saw the video. But there's that. Kalenna's name was mentioned 33 times in Dawn's lawsuit. Apparently, Diddy called Kalenna 53 times. And this is actually one of the main reasons why his bail keeps getting denied and was denied initially. Because they think that he's going to tamper with witnesses and threaten people, and they don't want him to be able to do that. And because he called her 53 times, they're using that as an example of what he could possibly be doing, threatening people or whatever, trying to intimidate them. After Diddy, I guess, called Kalenna 53 times, then Kalenna came out and she made a statement. She said, while I fully respect Dawn's right to recount her experiences, I want to emphasize that her account reflects her personal perspective and should not be interpreted as a universal truth applicable to everyone involved. Many of the allegations and incidents described in this suit are not my representative of my experiences, and some do not align with my own truth. So basically, she's like, girl, that's all on you. I didn't experience that. I don't know what you saw, but I didn't see that, okay? We may have been in the same room, but I didn't see what you saw. Maybe Kalenna got astigmatism in her eyes like me, and maybe she didn't see. But we about to get into her interview because, baby girl. So she was on Breakbeat Media. Here's a clip of the interview. that everyone is talking about.
Get drunk and just have a good, like, model time. I don't fuck with Dawn like that. And I'm gonna fucking stand on business. I didn't see that. What I saw was what the fuck is going on with you because you acting weird. You're a weird bitch. Is what I seen. And it's a list of niggas. Where y'all at? Talk about it. Dawn's a weird motherfucker, man.
So everybody is kind of like, especially me, I was like, girl, Dawn is weird. Dawn's the weird one. And then it's like, I'm not saying this woman is inebriated. I'm not saying that she on drugs. But it's giving.
Nights like this, I wish.
It's giving Eddie Kane tease. I don't know. But the guy, I guess it's the people that's in charge of the page or the person who interviewed her. This interview was a long time in the making. This is the first time she discussed her life in such detail. I can assure you there were no drugs, alcohol, or substances present. We really created an environment for her truth, like we do all our guests. Okay, so it is the people that's in charge. Thank you for all supporting Trapping Anonymous. You hear what he said? He said there were no drugs, alcohol, or substances present. Which means if she was on some type of drug or drinking some type of alcohol, he did not see it because it was not present. So it does not mean she ain't on something and she wasn't on something before she got there. Okay? Throughout this whole thing, it's very clear that she's not 100% herself. That's what it looks like. I listened to this whole interview and baby girl went through some shit, but she contradicted herself a lot. So you guys, I did this for you. I was on the line at work. I took some notes in between trucks. Like I really wanted to get in here. It's a lot of notes here. So let's get into the interview, you guys. So basically, she grew up with a drill sergeant stepdad and who berated her. And because of her experiences with her stepdad and the way he talks to her or talked to her, Puff also berated her in the group. However, she looked at Puff. She keep calling him Puff. I'm going to call him Diddy right now. She looked at Diddy as, okay, when he does it to me, that means he just wants to push me. And so basically she believes that his intentions were pure. So that makes it different from what she experienced with her stepfather. Even though she told Diddy about her experiences with her stepfather and how he used to talk to her. She also said that some good things that she said about Puffy or Diddy, is that he's great at getting you to realize how great you are. And I think we all seen his unconventional ways at trying to pull greatness out of artists. And Diddy is like Ike Turner and Joe Jackson. He's like, damn, that's their son. They got to put their DNA together. That's what it's giving. So her mom had her at 16. She ran away. So her mom was a young mom. She ran away at 17 because her mama punched her in the eye and made her eye bleed. She said her mothers are generally your first enemy. So her mom was like her first enemy. She's getting older. She's feeling herself and she's feeling out. And men are starting to look her way. So something must have happened there. She didn't go into detail. But her mentioning that aspect of it, I wonder, was something going on or, amidst the household with the stepfather. I'm not insinuating, but I'm just kind of like speculating. I like that. I ain't insinuating. I'm speculating. Because period. She was 14 years old when she learned that her stepfather wasn't even her biological father. Her grandma, I believe she said, told her. Here's where it gets kind of dark. So I'm letting you right now. This is going to be trigger warning for some of you all. So please brace yourselves. I'm going to keep it as cute as I can, but this is what was said in the interview. All of her uncles were pedos and rapists. Yeah. She said her mother saw her uncles, which I guess is her mother brothers, having intercourse with a 3-year-old. Kalenna says that her mom witnessed her uncles, which is her mom brothers, take advantage of a 3-year-old. And the grandma and everyone in the family basically punished the 3-year-old, punished her, and also prayed over her. No one did anything about it. She said all of her grandma kids were molested. And so they also had a dog named Rapist. I ain't monetized yet, so I'm pretty sure I could probably say these things. I don't know how. I'm still trying to learn the YouTube, so we're just gonna go ahead and say it because I ain't monetized. But if you like and subscribe, we will get there. We're on our way. They had a husky dog named Rapist. That's crazy to name your dog that. And so it was a common thing in the family that they know that the brothers were having sex with children. She didn't say whether or not. Now I think the mom may have been touched on. I'm not sure, because she said she will wait for her mom to tell that story. But we don't know her mama, so it's not like we'll be waiting for her mama to tell that story because her mama not famous. So it's just like, girl, we don't. Okay. But it gets worse, though. So it gets so much worse. She doesn't know if she was touched as a child. So when this 3-year-old was being brutally taken advantage of, and also 3-year-old caught multiple STDs as well. She said she was 8 months old when this happened, so it must have been a cousin or something, I'm assuming. And she doesn't know if she was touched or not. And she just knows that she didn't mess with the uncles. We all know that in black families, that is a common thing. There's a lot of molestation in the families, and it gets swept under the rug. I've seen it. I've heard it in my family. I've heard it in other people's families. I've seen people actually sweep things under the rug. I've seen people make excuses for the predators. I've seen it. So it's very sad and a common thing. And a lot of the young women can't, as soon as they speak out, they get in trouble. And it's very unfortunate. That's not the conversation today. However, I'm giving y'all some backstory on Kalenna because this is very important to what happened later. Guess who got her kids? 2 of her kids is with her mama in Texas, with the mama and the stepdaddy. So this is where it gets kind of weird for me. And she left things out. So I'm trying to understand why her mother has her children. You grew up in a strange household, a family full of predators, with a mother who did nothing and said nothing. And then your kids live with them. But then she says she's always been treated like she can't do nothing right. Her mama makes her feel like she's basically a bad mom and a bad person, and she just can't do nothing right, her or her husband. And when her baby brother passed away in 2021, that is when her mom is like, you can't have these kids back. Now, I don't know when exactly did her mom get her kids, because she said she had them during, the pandemic. So I don't know if that when she first got the kids. I'm not really sure. The timeline is off, because when the interviewer asked her why is the kids with the mama, she gave an example of how the kids know that the mama's on TV, so they looking like, oh, your mama, y'all so rich, why you ain't got the latest Jordan? So I guess the baby boy was getting bullied. And so because he was getting bullied, he just like, clothes doesn't matter or whatever like that. He's one of those kids, like a sweetheart. Like he just really, he doesn't put value into material things, but he was being bullied for not having things because his mom was a celebrity. She sent him to Texas and the country and down south and just away from all of that. That is what she said. It seems like it's more to that story though. That doesn't make sense to me, honestly. And also, she said when the baby brother passed away, the mama, I guess, didn't want to give the kids back. It sounded like she was trying to say, oh, because she lost her son, so now she's holding on to the kids. But then it jumps to her saying, they're not fit, basically not fit to have the kids. But she ain't saying why the mama and the stepdaddy feel like that. So it's like, girl, no. And then I guess there's a case, maybe. Why she not giving you your kids back? Her biological dad had 33 kids. And her dad committed suicide. It was a murder-suicide. He killed his side chick and then himself in front of the side chick's 7-year-old daughter. That's wild. She been with her husband. What we say his name was, y'all? Tony Vick? Tony. She been with Tony for 20 years. She said, he's a beautiful, kind, and fair man, best man in Nebraska. So he had like 7 kids when she met him. Or was it 6 kids? 6 or 7 kids when she met the man. But he ended up having a baby on her. So what I gathered, they had a very volatile relationship. And she talks about that, how he used to, he hit her, she hit him, they hit each other. So she's not a stranger to violence and toxicity. And this is what she's always known. Look where she came from. And then she goes into a relationship with the man who does the same thing. She mentions how, oh, if he know my trauma, he's not going to hurt me. Girl, he going to hurt you worse. Okay? Like, oh my God. She wanted to make him understand what he had, despite outsiders telling him that he could do better than her. So instead of leaving the toxic situation and getting cheated on from left and right, up and down, all around, and she wanted to prove that she was a great and the better woman. She wanted to prove herself. That's crazy. But a lot of women do that. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. But it's like, you had to prove yourself to this man. But from how she talks about her life, it seemed like she's always in a position where she has to prove herself. And she do later on say that she always searching for acceptance. So we'll get to why she said that later. She was offered $100,000 to be on someone's arm. Someone in the gospel industry that's very, very famous. And just basically being the second wife, like being well kept, being the other woman, being, tricked on. And she won't say who it is, but she says a very famous gospel singer. I'm over here like, who could that be? Who y'all think that is? A famous gospel singer that wanted to pay her. Donnie McClurkin? Well, no, because I think the famous gospel singer likes women. Oh, not to say that Donnie McClurkin don't like women. I ain't saying that. This ain't about Donnie McClurkin, but I just know that he has some battles himself. So I don't think that that's who she talking about. And was he ever married? Child, y'all, you know what, church don't. Lord forgive me. Who could it be? Y'all think it's Kurt Franklin? I don't know. But, she said he's super famous. Listen, y'all, I don't know about a couple of church songs. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the Lord. I do. But, baby, my limitations on church people, all I know is Kirk Franklin and Mary and Donnie McClurkin. Okay? And the one that sang Never Would Have Made It. But anyway, that's not about me. We don't know. But somebody tried to offer $100,000. I don't know how was that like every month or what. But she didn't take it. And so basically her husband had his own motion going on when she met him. Roles got switched. She started getting on and she got into, dirty money. Now I wish the interview would have kind of did more digging, because I would like to know how she met her husband and how is he connected to Diddy, and is that how she got into Diddy dirty money. I'm assuming that's how she got in, but I need more information about that. She was a millionaire at the height of her career. Spent it all up. She said she used to have about 30 people on the road with her. Well, and basically when the money dried up, so did the people. Nobody was nowhere to be found. But ain't that how I go? That's why I got a handful of people coming with me, child. And the handful is slim. Still got a couple of fingers left. But anyway, she wasn't blackballed, but she was blocked in the industry. She says some people say it's Diddy. She doesn't know. She don't know who it is or why, but she believed that she was blocked, but she says she ain't blocked now. Well, are you not blocked now because Diddy is in jail? Like, girl, it seems like you saying you're not sure if it's Diddy. So it's like you going hard and defending somebody who you're not even sure if he blocked your career after y'all disbanded. Because they was only together for like a couple of years, like in a group. So that's real red flaggy right there. She said she don't fuck with Don like that. But she wanted to be sisters with Don. But Don would not let her in. And maybe it's because of her experiences with Danity Kane. Or maybe Dawn saw you for who you were and saw some things that she didn't like, and she just kept her boundaries up because she didn't trust you. That could be that too. But you looked at her actions as her being weird. Meanwhile, you're being weird throughout this whole damn interview, but that's neither here or there, but it is here or there. She wants people to like her and want to feel accepted. That's extremely important, especially what I'm about to tell y'all what else she said. That's really important. She want to be liked and accepted. People that want to be liked and accepted, they are taking all the BS that comes with anything that they're looking to get. They will do anything to be liked and accepted. They will overlook anything to be liked and accepted. That means you ain't got your morals are limited, if there is any. She believes that Dawn looked at her as a threat and thought that she was getting more from Diddy, especially because of who her husband was, but it wasn't the case. But maybe, is it possible, Kalenna, that was the case? Because if your husband is good friends with Diddy, that means to me that Diddy is not going to be as hard on you like he is on Dawn. What you can't do is, this is not Men in Black, so you can't just erase our memories. We've seen how Diddy was with Danny Kane, Day 26. We've seen it. We've seen how he treated everybody. So it's not like we don't have references on how he treats his artists. So it's very possible that Dawn got it the worst. Because if he good friends with your husband, he ain't gonna really give it to you like that. He gonna probably give it to you a little bit, but not as much. And no Diddy when I say give it to you. So how do we not know that you weren't getting certain privileges? You had a different end than she did. But see, Kalenna says that she felt like, well, Dawn came into the group closer to Diddy. So she felt like they had a more of a rapport. So maybe in Kalenna's mind, she like, well, they already have a relationship established. So maybe she didn't see the difference between the treatment. But girl, bye. Anyways, I don't believe that one. I'm just trying to look at it from both sides. I'm trying to give Kalenna a benefit. I'm trying to give the girl a benefit of the doubt. Anyways, she said broke motherfuckers would do anything for money. And I hope what Dawn is saying is true. And then she asks, why do you wait so long? That's the question that everybody always asks when people speak out years later. I can't speak for every situation, and we're not talking about every situation. So for Diddy specifically, I don't understand why y'all keep asking that when it has been told and shown for years what happens when you do speak out. Clearly, y'all think Diddy's been getting away with this. Y'all think he's just now starting to get away with things. He's been getting away with things for decades. In Cassie's lawsuit, it was stated that he blew up Kid Cudi's car, not giving a damn if he was in it or not. Like, come on now. Y'all, I know y'all don't want to believe these things about Diddy, but I feel like we all kind of like know, and we just not surprised. It just sucks. But once Cassie opened the floodgates, a lot of people are more comfortable now to speak because he's been wreaking havoc, allegedly. Next, now we get into the Cassie child. Now, this is what pissed me off. She says she loves Cassie to death, but Cassie was naive, likes getting high, likes partying, and was well taken care of. She said she was spoiled. She said she had, the way she described this condo that Cassie had, she said the condo was all white with glass, a lot of glass, maybe an escalator or something glass, like in there, 100 feet ceiling, 70, 100 feet. She said 70 and 100. I don't know which one it was, but it was tall feet ceiling. And she said she was spoiled. She was a rich girl that wanted to hang out with her friends in Tahiti in the sun. And meanwhile, Kalenna herself was middle class. She said she was living cute, but baby, Cassie was living fab. And the way that she describes it, it gives an envious energy. Like, I wish I had that. She said she wanted to know what her allowance was, and she asked her, and she wanted to know what she was doing with her money. She said, now she threw out a number about 30,000 a week, and then she goes and said that she don't really know how much. So I really don't know if that's it, but that is what she said. She felt like, if you're saying that Cassie is naive and young, and you're talking about the life that she lived, she basically talked about how she just living just like a young girl, just living a life and living a fab life. But she was like, Kalenna felt like, if I was in your position, I would be making sure that my man knew that I can hold it down, that I can basically take care of his money, and I could take care of his children. It sounds to me like, well, basically what Kalenna was saying, that Cassie should have made sure that she showed herself to be valuable, and she would have been moving basically, I guess, like a boss type thing. And so she watched this little girl grow up. She keep calling her a young girl, little girl. In 2016, when Kalenna was pregnant, and she ran into Cassie, and Cassie looks like, I want that. Like, she wants to be pregnant and be a mom. Well, yeah, Kalenna, because she ended up having her kid like a couple of years after that. Yeah, she's getting older. So yeah, she's young. He got with her. He took her from when she was 19 from Ryan Leslie. Yeah, she living a life and going out and this, that, and the third. But let's talk about what she had to do to sustain that lifestyle and what she had to endure. Kalenna, she's looking at it like, I didn't see that. She said she wished that Cassie would have talked about the beauty in her and Diddy's relationship. But she said she wished that the public would have saw that. But we did see that. We only saw good things with them. What the fuck are you talking about? We did see it. Of course you're not going to see the bad things in a relationship. I think people look at, oh, well, you couldn't have been going through it that much. It couldn't have been that bad because you are basically benefiting from, the good parts of the relationship, like the money and the access and the status. You know what I'm saying? But I can talk even from a less fortunate standpoint, where when you are in a relationship, you may not have options. I was in a relationship where I didn't have options. I didn't have nowhere to go. My family had no idea who the hell they handed me off to. They had no idea. Everybody, decisions that everybody made, I got pawned off pretty much to my ex. They had no idea who this man was in real life. No idea. Everybody thought that we was living this picture perfect life, or we were just oh so happy. I don't know if I was happy with sad moments or sad with happy moments. But because I had no one for several years and it was just me and him, I had to find some type of comfort. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I did love him. I did. However, the relationship was trash and I was miserable. However, because I was limited options, I also had to find my comfort and find what makes me happy within this. I remember getting paid $800 every 2 weeks for my job. And that's sometimes, maybe almost $800. And our rent was like $13. And I remember, was it $13? No, it was 9 something. It wasn't 13. It was $900. Yeah. No, I think it was more than that. It was 1,000 and something. Yeah, y'all. No, it was 1,000 and something. I remember that because it ended up going up. And I remember every time I wanted to put this man out, child, I would be packing bags. One time I packed all his shit up. And then I was like, he wasn't there. I'm like, what am I about to do? What am I going to do? I don't have nowhere to go. Like, who going to pay this? He could leave, but who going to pay this rent? That was where I was thinking, because I had got pawned off, and I was like, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it was kind of like I was not confident in my ability to make it on my own because of how I didn't grow up with having to do that yet. I was still young, still trying to pursue my acting career, and I stayed because what else was I going to do? I wasn't getting paid much. Hell, I could barely make do with the money I was getting. And so you endured a lot of stuff because you're trying to survive. Or also, you do find some type of comfort and some type of joy. So that joy, you hold on to that. You got to deal with the bullshit, but you love it. You love him. You don't love it, but you love him. And you hope that one day it'll change. One day it will stop. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, yeah, she could be blinded by a lot of the glitz and glam, but he also kind of like, she didn't go after him. He went after her hard. And so y'all have to look other Cassie videos and look up the lawsuits on how he got her. But Kalenna is looking at the lifestyle, and that's what she wants. What brings me to the next thing. When the guy asked her what's the worst thing about Diddy, he was catty, and they would definitely fight like cats and dogs. But she wouldn't trade it for the world. She said the private jets, the Vogue shoots, the fireworks, everything, she wouldn't trade anything. But remember earlier, she said she want to be accepted. She want to be liked by everybody. She's looking at Cassie's life like, this is so amazing. Like, let me tell you, when they mentioned the hotel video footage, she gonna say, well, they were in a private hotel. Like, nobody saw that. Like, girl, actually, no. All it took was somebody to come out in the hallway to see it. What are you talking about? And then she goes and say, she was 18 years old herself. Now, I don't know who Little J John is. I even asked somebody in the comments. I don't know who this producer was. I don't know if she's trying to say it was Lil John. I ain't trying to put that on Lil John. But I don't know who Little J John is. But that's what she said. I even put the caption on it to see who she said. Somebody was trying to take advantage of her or took advantage of her when she was young. And so she talked about, but I was young, I was a baby. You were 18? Oh, a year younger than Cassie when she got with Diddy. Everybody around Diddy was with the shits. She said men was fucking men, women was fucking women. She's also confirming that in this interview, she kind of confirmed what we've been hearing about Diddy and, his sexual orientation. And she said niggas was in there tooted and booted. Ready. Just like, girl, what? Like, are you trying to help this man or not? Are you trying to hide in plain sight? Are you trying to tell us the truth on the low, but out loud, but on the low? Like, it's very confusing. She also said that she didn't see Dawn be scared. She felt like if she would have saw Dawn be scared, or Dawn would have came to her, yeah, I'm cool with Diddy, but we could have jumped him together. That's what her thing is. But it's like, girl, Kalenna gives me, he was good to me, so I can't really speak on everything else that happened. Everybody knew what they was getting into when they got around. And everybody benefited from it. That's what it's really giving me. This did not help Diddy. It didn't help. Y'all watch that interview. It did not help this man. It did not help this man. Because she said so much. It's like, how can you sit up there and say there's predators, you're describing all the things that Diddy's being accused of. So everybody in the industry is like that but him, and you don't know? You're saying all these rumors that you hear about him, you don't know that to be true? It could be, but you don't know. You're not sure? Are you not sure? They asked her about the 53 calls. This is what got me. I'm about to let y'all watch the video. They asked her about why did he call her 53 times, and how does she feel with being responsible, basically, or being the reason why his bail was denied. And this is what she had to say.
How does it feel for you to sort of be the person or the reason why Diddy's bail gets denied?
I think it's fucked up, because I think what we're not understanding is they don't understand black people. They don't understand how we communicate. We are very passionate people. And one thing you got to know about any average black woman, you're not pushing her to do shit she don't want to fucking do. So, motherfucker, you're not going to call me in the middle of the fucking night and be begging me or tell me what the fuck I'm going to do. But what I am going to say is, if you fucking name me in a fucking suit and say I was complicit in there, I'm fucking saying something. So you ain't got to worry about me not saying something. It's just what I got to say. So give me a second and think about what the fuck I'm saying. So I'm going to calm my emotions down. And I'm going to do it, but I got to do it my way. Because if I do it off of emotion, it's going to sound crazy. I want to write him. I want to see him. I want to tell him I love him. I want to tell him to keep his head up. If he did something wrong, talk to God. It's going to work out.
And what was interesting to me when it came out that he called Kalenna 53 times, if you friends with her husband, did you try to call the husband and he didn't answer, so you trying to call Kalenna? Because why you just only calling Kalenna? That means I know for a fact if he called her 53 times, he had to call the husband just as much. What is going on? None of this looks good. This is not a good look for Kalenna because everyone thinks that you're on something. You should be side-eyed from the beginning to the end. You basically said and proved that you would do anything pretty much and you will put up with anything to have a great lifestyle. That's what it sounds like. You have a lot of trauma going on. Kalenna, this is my unsolicited advice. Get some help and get some therapy. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all like Kalenna? Did you watch her on Love and Hip Hop? Did y'all listen to Diddy Dirty Money? Tell me the songs that you liked in the comments. Do you believe she did not witness anything that Dawn has witnessed? Tell me what you all think. Y'all, I got a headache, child. I got to go because this chick here. Like and subscribe to the channel. That's your It Girl Uncensored. I'm Cecily, the Pop Culture It Girl, and I got to go because